Hey
everyone, Duane here. Hey, Duane
I'm Gavin.
and Gavin. Sorry, it's a day 2 of technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So thanks to Best Buy and tech support, I was able to get the software stuff taken care of. But hope everyone's doing awesome on this. Very cool. Are we going live over there yet, my man?
We might
This
have to
this
reload.
very awesome Sunday. Why is it an awesome Sunday? Well, hey, we're all here, right? But Gavin.
All right, we're there.
Gavin went camping. What, yesterday? You left yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So you were here Friday. I forgot all about that when you said you did trick or treating at the campground. Well, I did a little bit at the dealer where I had my folding table, our folding table, put on the Bronco. I say ours, right? Yours too. Your first car?
Yeah.
In what, 5 years?
Yeah.
All right. So we had the folding table put on our Bronco, and it's pretty cool. So I can't wait to do a lot of driving, get it off road, banging around a little bit, make sure we don't get any noise. But we talked about that. We uploaded a video on Saturday talking about the vibration on those tables. Some people have heard, and I think we have a solution for it. Watch the video, and we'll see.
Yeah.
So how was camping? Let's go ahead and get that out of the way real quick. How was your camping trip?
It was fun.
Like you're running in place there.
Yeah.
It was fun. So you did trick or treating. What else?
We just played around in the park. We played in floodwater.
Floodwater?
Yeah.
Oh.
It keeps on flooding there.
Okay.
Every time we go, and it's
whoa. Rain or the river?
River.
Okay, it's probably gross, but whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Makes you immune to a lot of stuff.
We have no cuts on our feet. So.
All right. Well, that's good. So, do you see any Broncos?
No.
Did you see anything that resembled a Bronco?
No.
All right, cool. So today we were out and about. My daughter, your sister there, had a soccer tournament up down the road, and I couldn't believe how many Jeeps we passed. So I want to tell you, Friday I saw on Newport News, I saw the first rapid red Bronco in the wild. It was a Outer Banks non-Sasquatch. And very sharp looking ride. And guess what I drove Friday while the dealer had our Bronco?
What?
I drove the Big Ben again. So we did a review on our channel of a Big Ben, and it's a nice ride. You know, it's a 2.7. Not a lot of options, I guess. I guess a couple things it had. One, it had the hitch on the back. So
yeah.
Yep. So what else did we have? We had soft top hitch, but anyway, I drove that again. It's I mentioned yesterday. I think just shy of 2,000 miles on it. Still runs great, and I know it's only 2,000 miles, but you know as good as I do, a mannequin has probably got 2,000 hard miles on it.
Yeah.
So hopefully not. Hopefully not. But anyway, it's pretty cool driving it. You know, getting out of our Badlands Sasquatch into a Big Ben non-Sasquatch was a little bit different. You really tell the difference. The two that are next to each other. So they're both really nice trims, like them all. So I've been reading up on this. I told you I brought you up to speed on two things today. One is our crazy cat that photobombed me and crashed our live yesterday. That was kind of crazy. What did you think about that? Kind of crazy.
Yeah. So
Cats, man, they're like, they rule the place.
Yeah.
But the other thing I talked to you about was allocation that some dealers are now having an issue with. So, there a lot of people maybe went to different dealers that were really promoting the brand of the Bronco brand, and they've placed their reservation, moved it there, either placed it initially or moved it from wherever it was set up on day 1, 2, 3, whatever the case may be. And now all of a sudden they might not get a Bronco this year because
why did you get this close to the mic?
Because I wanted to emphasize it's going to make people, it's one more level of making people mad.
Yeah.
So we are still going through with our second purchase. Now, here's breaking news, I guess, maybe. Will we keep our second one? What are we going to do with the second one? We're ordering it. We're going to buy it. We're going to do a lot of reviews initially. What are we going to do with it? All Terrain Nation, hey, how are you? Hope everything is well. So we're going to, all right, so I'm a little, here we go again, torn with the order. Let me tell you what my dilemma is.
Yep.
October 13th, we can do the build and price. We can place our order. All right. The first quarter of 22, they're going to announce special editions.
Yeah.
So do we wait until they announce a Heritage Edition and see if we can get one?
Yeah. I say we wait for 22.
Right, it's going to be a 22.
Or yeah, we.
Because remember, October 13th is when the 22 order bank opens. But my question is, do we go ahead and order what we know right now we want, or do we wait and see what special editions are coming out there? Casey Jones, hey, how are you? Hope all is well tonight with you guys. So what do? So the order bank opens the 13th. You know, we're all blazing a trail there. We know what we want. We want a Badland Sasquatch, or we want Black Diamond, or, Big Bend, or Outer Banks, or whatever you want. You know, it won't, it's not going to be a first edition, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Or do we wait until January or February? We're talking the first quarter. We don't know exactly when that's going to be.
Yeah.
So we'll wait. Now, am I in a hurry? I'm not in a big hurry because we took delivery of a Bronco, and I'm very grateful. But the breaking news was, do I keep, whenever we finally get our 22, how long do we keep it? Do we keep it for a month, 2 months, 3 months? Do we sell it? Someone out there that's been waiting and waiting, and maybe it's exactly what they want? Or what do we do with it? Decisions. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, I can tell you that we're super excited. Tonight, I had one of those.
Logo, Dad.
I say sell it. I hear you. I like it. So what you lost my train of thought. Tonight I was in the garage, and it's a garage that we're working on to try to get it so maybe we can do some live streams down there, right? Yeah. Because there's another little project brewing here. So but I was looking at my Bronco, and I'm so grateful that I have it. It's here. And I feel so bad for those who've been waiting just as long and they don't have their Bronco yet. I mean, I genuinely do. So I want you to know I'm truly grateful that we actually have one. And I wish everyone had it because, the videos, the content, and places. And we're ready for the meetups to get a little bit bigger as well. Right now it's just a few here and there. But when it's still crazy seeing one on the road for the first, or not the first time, but very few times. I did a video a few weeks ago where on a Sunday we saw 2 in one day. Those are the first 2 out in the wild, and so you're starting to see them. My wife saw one yesterday, so the frequency of seeing them, and it's just because more and more and more are being delivered every single day. You see someone that's getting their Bronco. So. And hey, David, thank you very much. I appreciate you sharing the link. Gavin and I, we're trying to, I guess we're trying to feel the pain there about what's 22 look like with the dealer allocations, and also I didn't tell you didn't get to watch the live stream yet. Hopefully you'll watch it tonight, other than the crazy cat bombing it. But MSRP, I made a prediction yesterday, and we'll see if I'm right or wrong, that a lot of dealers that sold Broncos at MSRP in 21 are probably going to add a little bit because of the landscape, the business landscape, supply chain, the things that make dealers money is really running thin. So I think that you're going to see a little bit of that. And, hey, everything else is costing more too, right? So gas and every other thing that you're dealing with. Are you all right, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got like a sinus thing happening.
Yeah.
But as the accessories start to build, I mentioned, the light bar issue. We can't get our light bar right now. Dr. Detroit chimed in. I think the Baja Designs is a really cool thing, and so I'm going to look at their stuff. I'm going to look at other options, because what we don't want to end up with is a fender mirror-mounted light, a fender ditch light, I should say, of one brand, and then go with a light bar of another. And then tomorrow's your build day going on. My window sticker, awesome. Casey, I am so excited, man. And I'll tell you, watching this build date every single day and trying to track it, and if you can't, check with your dealer, have them update you. And I don't know where you're located, but when it gets on a train, it's going to take a little bit, or if it comes by truck. But let's get back to the lights. I don't want to end up with a ditch light from one manufacturer, a light bar from another. So I will tell you, the 2 things that I'm holding off on right now are the lights, the external lights. I may do something in the grill, in the bumper itself, because I have the modular steel bumper. Yeah. And I'm holding off on the winch. because there's a little bit of software stuff happening with the winch. You know, there's airbag calibration you have to do and some other stuff. So it's not just bolt on the winch. It's, you know, also, when you read the details, and I haven't followed up on this, I don't think we can use the standard winch anyway.
Why?
Because if you go to the accessories on Ford's website and you look at details on the winch, it says not to be used with Lux.
Why?
I don't know. Is that as in our interior or what? So we need to check on that a little bit. Somebody may know. Hey, Terrence, how are you? Nice to talk to you again. If someone knows about the Ford winch, or not the Ford winch, but the winch that's on the Ford accessory website, the Warren winch, can it be installed as is with the Lux on the steel modular bumper? I know it'll fit on the bumper, what the bumper is really designed for, but can I use it with the Lux interior? From what I read, you cannot, but maybe I'm overthinking it or not reading it properly. I don't really know. We do have some more videos before we get our Bronco like filthy dirty. We're trying to do some videos of some parts and pieces that'll never be this clean again.
Yeah.
And we have like that short window. By the way, Roanoke, we mentioned. What did you say? Trent? You spelled his name wrong. Terrence. Sorry, Terrence.
Oh, yeah.
He's no
I can't spell
typo
tonight.
or you can't spell tonight.
Yeah.
You had a rough day yesterday and
Yeah.
what early part of today.
Yeah.
But you know, getting back, what were we just talking about?
Oh.
Man, you got me sidetracked. But this whole Bronco thing is crazy. And look, going back to KC, tomorrow's the build date. You know, when you get these build dates, it starts to become real. And as you're tracking it, and I called my dealer quite a bit and had to keep up because I couldn't, you know, the website and the things that you can track is kind of limited, but your dealer can tell you a lot more. And we were able to track that. Gavin and I even tracked it down to when our train would be rolling through and got a picture of that. And that was crazy. But it starts to become real. And I'll tell you, the big thing is when you see your Bronco. I saw someone today or yesterday on Instagram was, you know, their Bronco came in. They can't take delivery until tomorrow. That is huge. So you get to see it. I know we saw ours. Well, I saw ours on a Thursday, and I couldn't get it until Friday. So, yeah. So their own conversations happening. Hey, carry on, guys. That's cool. There's a whole lot that happens over on All Terrain Nations Live. You know, there's a whole conversation that happens in there, and it's actually pretty funny to see some of the stuff that's being talked about. But on the Bronco accessories, you know, I don't really know what is next for us. I'm really looking at the cargo, the secure cargo container for the back. Mm-hmm. The question is, and we need to figure this out. Maybe I can put you on it. Can we still store our doors in the back? Because you're going to lose height. I don't know exactly how high, but you lose maybe 10 inches, 12 inches of height. Will the doors still fit in the back? Now, I know they'll still tie down, at least by the tie downs, because the tie downs actually unbolt from the back of your Bronco. And that's where the storage bin actually bolts into the same exact footprint. And then the same tie downs then get replaced or repositioned, reinstalled on top of that tie down. And so, you know, I mean, that's one of those things that, will the doors fit? I don't know. We need to find that out. So if the doors will fit, maybe that's what we go with next.
Yeah. And
we've actually getting ready for our trip here in April. I think it's 20th through the 23rd in Supercell East. I know that nothing really officially happens till January, but we're trying to get ahead of the curve a little bit. Yeah. So what does that have to do with the storage? Well, if we drive our Bronco and we're going to stay somewhere before the event. Obviously, down there is really nice, but I don't know where we're going to stay.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be nice to have a secure bin for our stuff that stays in the Bronco if we stay at a hotel?
Yeah.
I mean, look, let's face it, a soft top, you can slice right through it, no big deal. You can also break a window in any other car. I just think it's enticing to some people maybe to try to tamper with a soft top a little bit. And awesome.
Oh.
That is great. You know, Gavin and I were talking about the very same thing tonight, weren't we?
Can we wait? Do we have one?
Well, not yet.
Can we get a bin?
I don't know. Are you going to crank out some goods? See, All Three Nation already has their stuff ready to go.
I want
I gave you one job, man.
when we get our merch, I'll sell it.
Merch. Gavin's got the words down. You want to design the merch? Yeah.
We already have it.
Well, don't tell them about the one thing that we have. So we're working on something pretty cool. But there's a lot of people out there. Have you seen all the companies and the people that are designing bumpers and winch holders and different accessories? It's pretty cool to see this stuff organically starting to pop and happen. And today I couldn't help, and we'll talk about the other brand for a second on Jeep. I don't know if it's the RAS in my brain, reticular activating system. That's when you buy a green car, suddenly you notice green cars, or you buy a certain type of house, and suddenly every neighborhood you drive down, you see that same design. But with the Bronco, I'm starting to get into the off-road community a little bit, and yeah, Gavin, you need to get that merch. But I seen a ton of Jeeps on the road today, like literally a lot.
Yeah.
And so you start to think about how long, the merch for those, but I mean the parts and the pieces for the Jeeps people have been building this stuff for years.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many Jeeps are sold every year. Maybe you ought to research that. How many Jeeps have been sold ever?
Ever?
Well, and I say ever, then you'd have to go back to when it was AMC, and then how everything changed back to the first Jeep, which was a Ford, I think. But the basic modern day Jeep, how many have been sold, and how many companies out there build aftermarket parts? That'd be interesting, I think, to know, because I can tell you there's a ton of them out there. So the Bronco community is building out, it's growing. Obviously, the Broncos are trickling out now, and so it's pretty cool to see all this stuff develop. So, but yeah, Gavin is like slacking on the merch, like he had one job, but I can't wait. And Supercell is going to be a great event. It's been going on for years, and it's been the early Broncos and some late model Broncos. But what do you think about now with all the new Broncos, 2021s, and there'll be 22s there, I'm sure. What do you think?
Yeah.
Hello.
My brain is missing.
Your brain's missing?
Yes.
So are you trying to find something else on last week? So Gavin over here is trying to keep us straight here on YouTube. But
yeah.
So technology. I started off today mentioning technology. Yesterday was a little rough. I had a little software issue, so I was able to take care of that. And we had a drive issue here, and then also tech support. So I was able to deal with that. StreamYard was awesome to deal with, by the way.
We also had a cat.
And then the cat. Yeah. Where is she?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll keep her there. But anyway, so had a fun event yesterday, but I think we're going to try to do that fireside chat once in a while. I'm not going to commit to a schedule, but when we have a chance, maybe that's something that we do like at Supercell. Yeah. I will tell you something about Supercell though, is at least in Tennessee, is the signal there is a little on the rough side.
Yeah.
So we might want to do something different with that. And here's the big question: are we trailering our Bronco or are we driving it?
Drive.
You want to drive it?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't want to put it in a car in a hauler?
No, drive it.
You want to drive it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to drive it then. You heard it right here. Now, what if we have a 22 by then? Can we trailer both of them? Because you obviously can't drive, dude. You're like 5 years away from all that happening.
Yeah.
Or maybe longer. Depends on how you start to drive. So if you're...
Can we fit 2 Broncos in one trailer?
We can. Not with our current trailer, but we can get one that will.
We can, yeah. But it's going to be like 30 feet long.
Yeah.
No, like 40.
Yeah, so we're looking for. I mean, what is this, October, and we're already talking about that. We missed Supercell West. It was a bummer. We wanted to go. There was a lot of stuff happening. Timing didn't work, and our Bronco was being built that week. So, yeah. Hey, Terrence, thanks. Appreciate it. So the big news tonight is allocations. We're going to start to see more and more of that happening, or getting details on that this week. Gavin and I are going to be we're dropping another video either late tonight or tomorrow. Okay, Wrangler sells about 200,000 a year. That's strong, and I'm assuming that's give or take a few up and down. That's every year. Sorry, I'm going back through the comments here, and we're kind of like scatterbrained tonight. But All-Terrain Nation mentioned basically on my question is Wrangler sells about 200,000 a year, and that's why everywhere you look you see one.
Yeah,
because they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, how many of the Jeep drivers are really Bronco fans deep down, but they haven't had a Bronco to drive,
like
or not even just Bronco, but a new type of all-terrain or off-road machine.
I don't know.
And there's a certain percentage, and I don't know what it is. And then there's diehard, people that'll never own anything but a Jeep, and that's cool too. So there's going to be, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out once Ford gets the initial issues with the Bronco solved for its production, right?
Yeah.
And starts to meet the orders, and as they can start to then build inventory for dealers, the ebb and flow of the market. Let's see where that takes us.
Yeah.
Because we are entering that environment where electric cars is where the attention is going.
Yeah.
It's where the tax incentives are going.
Like Tesla, Mach-E.
Yeah, and I'm sure, I don't have the details, but I'm sure dealers are kind of in some way, shape, or form penalized for every gas engine they build. So I would imagine some people really don't even want to build the stuff like that. But
yeah.
But then look at how strong the market is. So yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, thanks. Hey, Terrence, I appreciate that. We're on our way to 1,000 subs. So as far as be able to do super chats, we're getting up there. I think we took 2 weeks off to kind of regroup, right?
Yeah.
Our Bronco was showing up. It showed up, and then now it's about. We want to bring some really cool content. Right now, we're just kind of shooting the breeze like we would if we were talking on the phone. But our videos are trying to be very pointed about our Bronco, our particular Bronco, not just in general anymore. And I have 3 videos that are scheduled, if the weather permits, to shoot them this week. And I think it's going to be pretty interesting to answer some questions and to get to see some functioning parts on these Broncos that you don't normally get to see because you're behind the dash, not in front of it.
Yeah.
And so we have some cool stuff planned there. And so hopefully our channel starts to build out and answer some of those questions, and maybe even talk about something that you didn't know you wanted to know about, but then you see it and you're like, yeah. Someone yesterday commented, "Did you see the video I put on Instagram with your GoPro on the ground where we drove over it?"
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool video. Lighting, we're going to do something different to lighting.
Yeah.
But you actually get to see the bash plates or skid plates, see the drive shaft. Something I've never noticed, and I didn't know this with the chassis that is was at Supercell East and also in Pennsylvania. You remember the chassis that they had there? Did you notice the drive shaft actually had grooves in it?
Mm-hmm.
You did?
Yeah. I saw that, there's a bunch of lines towards the back.
Yeah. Well, you know why they do that, right?
Circle. No.
I'm assuming from my old days of hot rodding, I'm assuming it's for strength, to help try to keep it in shape and for lack of twisting, because as you start this, you add this off-road stuff and you get your wheels bound up, and these Broncos have some pretty good torque. So you have a case where you can, and I'm pretty sure that's why it's there. It also, if you think about it, adds strength. If you take a piece of sheet metal, flat metal, how you support it is you or help make it a little more durable is you put brakes in it, right? Yeah. Cross brake or line brakes, and basically you add a little bit of strength. So part of that could also be if it gets whacked with something on the trail, it's less likely to dent it as if it's just a smooth round drive shaft. I really don't know, but hey, see you, Terrence. Nice talking to you. All right, All Terrain Nation, thank you. Hey, the edits, I know you've got a lot of videos and what you've done here just recently, and it's actually pretty cool. I want to talk to you about that sometime, but they just went down and did a lot of reviews on some vehicles. So he has editing for days and days and days.
Some people have editing for
years. But we're going to talk about that Bronco stuff. But the video from underneath the Bronco shows a very clean chassis, shows the bash plate, shows every single thing there, and so you kind of get the gist of it. And I think we need to break that down a little bit. We do have the video of that chassis that we saw in Supercell. Was it at Carlisle? I just said Carlisle. Was it at Carlisle?
No, it was at Supercell.
Supercell East is the only place we've seen it.
Oh, you said see ya.
Oh, you're not going. Okay, I thought you were heading. You're talking to David there. But see, that's what I get for looking at the comments. See, I'm trying to stay focused. Sorry, I've got that shiny squirrel thing going. I told Gavin tonight, because he wasn't here for us to review. He wasn't here for us to review, new content for today. But really, the big thing, we talked about it yesterday, was the allocation stuff, the 2 new colors coming out. I I'm going to go off on a limb and make another prediction here. How about that being 2 in 1 live stream?
Yeah.
You know what the other one is?
What?
We have the 2 colors. We have eruption green, which I agree is kind of a, like I have that green Mustang, right? Called deep emerald green.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what the color looks like.
I wouldn't really like that on the Bronco.
Hot pepper red is the other one. You don't like that?
No.
I think rapid red's sharp, but I think the green would be a cool color for us to go with.
I like boxwood green.
But here's what my prediction is.
What?
So there's going to be a special edition Bronco announced in the first quarter of 22 per the Ford's website. All right.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a new color added then as well, not just a trim. Now, am I wrong? Could be. But why wouldn't they add, if you're going to add a heritage edition, why wouldn't you bring back one of those other colors? I get it with the green.
We need forest green.
Boxwood.
Yeah.
Or boxwood or a light blue.
Light blue seems really
light
cool.
blue would be really, it's a retro color.
Yeah.
So if I'm have anything to do with it, which I don't, I can assure you, but if I was in that position and I was having to make these decisions with the special edition for 22, I would do not only a heritage, but I would bring, to make it a heritage, I would bring one of those colors back.
Yeah.
And I think, with some special badging, you've seen the aftermarket badging, right? The old school Bronco, people are taking off the stickers off the fender and replacing it with the Bronco. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
And I think they look great. When you see them on a Bronco, I'm kind of like, man, I want to do it. But I think for now, we're going to leave ours where it is.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do something different.
Yeah.
But it would just be really cool to see them go in deep with that heritage and actually bring in one of the colors.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Am I right or am I wrong? 50-50. I wish the baby blue is a really good color. I don't know if it's like robin egg, same thing, baby blue, robin egg, Carolina, like Tar Heel blue. And then they had there was a really light, I don't know if it was a factory color, but light yellow. I actually saw an early Bronco painted like that. And I don't think it was original, but it had painted many years ago. So it had some patina going on. It was a little messed up. So, but I would like to see one of the blues out there. I think it'd be great. That boxwood green is just it's so awesome. I don't know if that wasn't, if that was predictable, if it was too predictable for Ford to do. I don't really know. You also have to bring in the Ranger component to this because Matt builds the Ranger and the Bronco.
Yeah.
And so the paint kind of goes between both models. I think because the Ranger is such a hot seller, it's a popular pickup truck. Why not add more colors to that?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're, I think it's worth the business decision, if it was my opinion, because the Ranger, I tell you, if I was in the market for a little pickup truck, would be a definite done deal.
Yeah.
It's just a sharp looking ride. And but anything you have to add tonight, little man? Because it's time for you to wrap it up for the weekend.
Oh yeah.
It's a little late.
Not really.
Not really. So, all right. Well, technology worked for us tonight. It's awesome. We'll probably be back this week doing some stuff, but watch out for the video that we're gonna dump. And I'm still getting white.
The white looks really good.
Oh, by the way, Terrence, Gavin and I talked about getting white ourselves because that was one of the first colors that I said, yeah, I could really do it. The problem is we have too many white vehicles now.
Imagine a white vehicle.
Well, I mean, Range Rover, truck, van, Explorer, we have a lot of stuff there. So it's like we had to add some color to the collection, right? We have the green Mustang, the black and gold Mustang. We have too many things, but the white one is really sharp. And when you balance it enough with the black in it, black wheels, black lettering, maybe that black old school Bronco logo.
Yeah.
There was one where someone added a lift to it. That's really, really sharp. Now I will tell you, I like the black fender flares like I have on my Area 51 Badlands. But on a white Bronco, I really like the painted fender flares.
Yeah.
So, but if you go Sasquatch, that's going to give you the wider black ones. But I guess I don't know, someone probably makes them. If they don't make them, there's other way to making them. Is the Sasquatch size, the wider fender flares, but in smooth material where you can paint it. I mean, I know you could probably get someone to paint the black ones that we have now.
Yeah.
but you'd have texture to it. They'd have to do a lot of work to it. Also, we are going over that the PPF this week. So I talked to a painter, a body painter, and he said, "Look, some of the stuff you've got to watch the PPF because if you notice on a car where you buy a new car and it comes with the PPF on the hood
Yeah.
and a little bit behind the front tires. My F-250 has it. There's a patch of it on the fenders behind the front tires. Well, around the edge of it, you start to get a little bit of discoloration. As dirt gets in there and it's hard to get it out. Well, so if you wrap the Bronco, I guess, in it properly, when I say properly, I don't know if there's a right way or wrong way. I guess there's a wrong way. But if you wrap it so you can't see the edges, if the edges are hidden, up say where the top mounts to the back of the Bronco or under where the fender flares bolt back, then you might not see that. And but now someone posted yesterday on Instagram they did it and have a 10-year warranty. So imagine that, a 10-year warranty on it. So what does that mean? Does that mean that the warranty, if it starts to fade or discolor, or if you get that little chalky look on it, that you can have it replaced, or is that just from maybe shrinking, cracking, or whatever? So we just need to do more research because I said we were going to do it, and yep. So I'm just waiting on that. It's an expensive deal. I think this person on Insta that I watched, and I'd give them credit if I could remember their name, but I couldn't. It was like $4,500, and they didn't do the swing gate.
Yeah.
So it's the hood, front fenders, doors, and the quarter panel. So, yep. So hey, Terrence, are you talking about the just the lift? What? And here's the thing, because I'm so happy with my Badlands Sasquatch. What is the most popular lift happening right now? I know there's a leveling lift that's going on,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of people are putting 37s on the Bronco.
Imagine 40s.
I was thinking about that.
40 would put in the garage.
Yeah, we'd start to have some issues there, but I'm starting to think that is it good for that suspension? It might be a little much.
Yeah, because it's like.
Now, I don't know. I mean, someone's going to do it. Have you seen the Bronco that someone did a solid axle conversion to the front?
No.
Now, to me, that just defeats the whole purpose of it riding so good. But
Jeep wobble. It's death wobble.
Yeah, so you should know you're not driving, young man. But and that's one of the things. I don't know with the bigger tires. The Bronco has just a little bit, and I mean, I'm trying to find something wrong with it, and I really can't. It has just a little bit of movement on the road when you hit one of the craters here in Hampton Roads, Virginia, that we have in the road. But it really recovers nicely. If you get a little bounce happening. Now my F-250, when it starts bouncing, it's kind of like, hang on, and you'll eventually it'll smooth out.
Yeah.
But the Bronco does really, really good on the road. The last thing I think I'm gonna finish with tonight is, the Sasquatch will be available with the manual in 22.
Really?
Because right now you can only get Sasquatch with the 10-speed automatic.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple, these predictions here tonight. Maybe I hope I'm right. I hope I'm not wrong on all of them. The other one is, Ford only has the combination of engine transmission between the 2.3 and the manual, so they don't have the manual option for the 2.7. And I think because they don't have that anywhere in the different models and trims, do they have in the drivetrains? Do they have a 2.7 in the manual?
Yeah.
So I bet they're testing it, right? And obviously it's going to be a gearing thing because we have different RPM ranges, torque ranges, horsepower, a little bit on the horsepower, mainly on the torque.
Yeah.
And I think that they're probably somewhere there's one being tested.
Yeah.
And so maybe, 23, 24, you'll see a manual 2.7, but we'll see.
Maybe.
But you have to remember that's a big nut to crack on the R&D, designing, getting it out there, right? Because it's something that is not currently used throughout the brand. So
yeah, I feel like that's gonna be something like the hardtop. It's gonna be, not like, trying to be.
Terrence, the 6-inch lift, by the way, sorry to cut you off, but the 6-inch lift, I can't wait.
That'll be a little too much.
No, that's strong. That's nice. It's going to look good. So you imagine how ours feels
It's
inside.
gonna be
Imagine if you
harder
put 30.
to get in.
Yeah, well, oh well.
It's
Welcome to
already
off.
hard to get in now.
Welcome to off-roading. Welcome to off-roading. So this Bronco thing, yeah, and that's what my wife said. She goes, I know why you got Sasquatch, so I couldn't get in it and drive it every day. But well, do one of those little footstools like you have to use to get in the top of the pantry where we had all the candy and stuff that you figured out how to get to. But those little step stools will get you in there, pretty cool. But yeah, 6-inch lift. If you go 37s, wow, that is strong. Eventually we're going to put wrenches on ours, but I think what I'm trying to do is do a real world review of the Bronco as it is for a period of time, and eventually what's going to happen is we'll have to change something on it dramatic. But right now we're doing the bolt-on stuff. We started with the table, maybe the storage bin next. What comes after that, I don't know. We're going to do some communication inside. I think we're going to do some rugged radios, portable ones for you and I. But I want a vehicle mounted radio as well.
Yeah. Well, like those, and we need some actual
CB,
working walkie-talkies.
Well, that's where the rugged radios come in.
Oh.
Something that's a lot. Well, first of all, they're nice, they're high quality, they're durable. I know some people with them, and they actually swear by them. I'm sure there's other brands out there that we could go with, but I'm just going to stick with that because.
Wait, is this a walkie-talkie?
Yeah, rugged radios, the handheld. I'll show you the link to it.
Is it the one in the birds?
No, the birds. So a movie, by the way, with Tom Hanks and what was the other guy's name?
Bruce Dern.
Bruce Dern, yeah, the birds. Man, how did that come?
Because those big walkie-talkies they use.
Oh, yeah, those are like military grade things. Now we're talking about rugged radios, but I think we want one to mount in there as well, so that if we get out of the Bronco, we can still communicate with each other and with other people. Mm-hmm. There's different types. There's different types of radios as well. We need to decide what's best for us and what's most common. Yeah. Because if we're going with a group of people and we all have the same type of radio on the same frequency, that's great. But the average person, if you're out in the middle of Luray somewhere on a trail and we can't, something happens, and hopefully we're not out there by ourselves.
Something happens.
Yeah, but so that's definitely somewhere we're going to have to go with a buddy for that. Yeah, 4. I'm assuming 4-inch lift. What you're talking about? That's probably even
4-inch.
2 to 6, but 4 would be. I think 4 is manageable, right? You couldn't get a 6 with a 6-inch lift.
No. I honestly like.
And I don't know if whoever's watching right now, I'd love to see if you've sat in a Bronco or not even sat in one, but you've ordered one. Like literally, you have a build date or you're waiting for your build date and you have one coming. Have you ordered it without sitting in one? Period. I'd love to know comments on that, because there's a lot of people, Gavin, that have at least sat them in a dealer.
Yeah.
Or maybe drove the dealer mannequin. Or did a ride and drive where they actually got to ride along with the driver, like we did in Tennessee. Yeah. And then if you do have a reservation, an order, and you get to go to like a Bronco off rodeo somewhere, now that's really cool, because that's when you get to see the buttons. I was thinking about a video today in the thumbnail. The easy button, the little round thing where you hit and it says the easy button on it. Have you ever seen that? It used to be an advertisement for a big office company, but this easy button, right? Well, Ford sort of made off-roading. I'm not going to say easier, but you sort of have that easy button. You have the hero switches, you have the goat modes. And I saw someone, they had a broken down, you know what GOAT stands for? Say it.
Go over any terrain or any type of terrain.
Very good. You got it right. Most people they forget the type. It's if I would have done it, go over any terrain, but go over any type of terrain. Very good, man. Give me a high five on that. So someone has a shirt with that and they missed the other T in there, but it's really just GOAT. But Ford's put all those easy buttons in the Bronco. And when you go to somewhere like Texas Off Rodeo and you learn from trail guides who actually know what they're doing and they get to teach this stuff to you, that was really cool, because, I figured, okay, how hard can it be? Well, it's hard. Which mode, which hero switch, what approach, trusting a spotter. There's an entirely different world. after you get your Bronco and you're driving it around the road, that's great. But when you go four wheeling, if you want to do it right and use the Bronco to its true potential, that's where it takes something or some people that go off roading now that's been doing it for years to really get the know, to know the tricks of it, right?
Yeah.
And because there's some accidents that can happen. You've seen reports of Broncos rolling over, and I mean mainly I think it's been the sports, but anything in the wild. If you watch some of the YouTube videos out there where we've seen some of the vehicles have accidents off road, other brands, and stuff happens. So when you learn how to use the Bronco, then you're going to have a much safer experience in the wild. And I can tell you the Bronco's cool, but it's a machine that means business. And when I went to Texas, I realized that going up some of those slick rocks, and I told you I was in the back of the pack. Um, I was in the back of the pack, and so by the time we got to go up those slick rocks, they were wet because if someone went through a wash, they were just soaking wet. There was mud on them. So, deciding front locker, rear locker, and typically, I think we used the front locker for mainly first. When we had to do a locker, we went to that because that's the first thing to grab, right? It kind of pulls you up. There was the one rock I was on. I was sliding sideways, and there's a little ravine to the right. That's where the trail guide said, "Hey, hit the rear locker," and sure enough, right up. But that was because it was moss covered, mud and water on it.
Yeah.
So like just certain things. But the goat mode, getting back to all the easy buttons in the Bronco, is they give you so much cool stuff in there to learn and to operate and to use. So it's pretty cool. Let's go back to some of the pavement ends now. How are you, Pilgrim Wanderings? What's going on? Hey, I love seeing the pictures. Uh-oh, there's your buddy here.
What?
She got out. Sorry, the cat's back in here. We can't have that a day too. Ordered without sitting or riding in a Bronco after I got in the seat and sit in one of the dealer. Yeah. So, and there again, you did there was a huge leap of faith when you ordered a vehicle and you hadn't sat in one, drove one, like you just saw it. And that's when I go back to the marketing video, that Ford did, that they hired a marketing company. It was like Emmy type stuff, right? I sat there and watched this thing, and it was when the running horses in the very beginning and the early Bronco left the screen. It was a cyber orange two-door there. It was like, I want this thing. And then as you learn more about it, man, what a beast. So that's a testament to that as well. And I think, hey, Gavin, the pavement ends now. They have a build date coming up really soon.
Really?
I think you can remind me what that date is. I can't remember right now, but I know it's getting there's light at the end of that tunnel. And Pilgrim, I saw with the beach. I want to know if you're still here. How'd your Bronco do in the sand? And was it real fluffy sand or is it more wet pack sand?
Yeah.
That'll be our first trip here in just a few weeks. I didn't mention we were supposed to be in Roanoke this weekend.
Yeah.
And the event got rained out because there was a lot of rain out west. Southwestern part of Virginia really got hammered with the rain. So we're rescheduled to the first part of November 6th, I think it is. So if you live in Roanoke, around Roanoke, Rocky Mount, Salem, anywhere in there, it'd be great to meet you. I think we're going to try to do a live from there, actually. We have mobile live streaming. So what could go wrong? The cat's not there, but we do have everything else. And the one thing we don't want to do is if we have music playing in the background, we're not going to be able to go live. So we have to do some filming and then edit out the music. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. So look, we have the order banks opening next week. Are you going to order right away, or are you going to wait until the first quarter of 22 to see what special editions happening? I guess the chance there is going to be a limited number. Will your reservation be able to work on that? I don't really know. What do you think about the colors? Eruption green, hot pepper red. Do you think there'll be a new color added with that new trim, that a special edition announced in 21 or 22?
Maybe.
Quarter one of 22. I'm predicting a color out there. Wouldn't it be cool if it was boxwood or something like that?
It was nice.
Got it. Sand mode is awesome and fun. So did you notice when you went to sand mode, did you hear now, whether it's the engine or what's being pumped in through the speakers, did you hear any change in the engine tone at all? Someone had mentioned they were in the Baja mode and they could really tell a difference in the engine sound.
So what's the day of East?
20 April 20th through the 23rd.
Okay, so 20.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're really looking forward. And I would imagine down, going back to the sand there in Florida, I would imagine there's a lot of wheeling there in the panhandle of Florida. I know I've seen some people in the southwest part of Florida, somewhere south of St. Pete. They were doing some wheeling down there on the beach. Now, I know um, right now in the Outer Banks, the further south that you go, some of the beaches open up after the summer, and it's not just because of people there; it's because of the turtles doing their thing and the birds and things like that. And so part of the beach opens up. So it's going to be really cool to go to the Outer Banks, Gavin, and be able to do all of the areas,
Yeah.
most of the areas as well.
Yeah.
Um, yep, the transmission shifts at different points, so it runs the RPMs up a little bit higher and shifts. So I would imagine, and I haven't studied this at all, but I imagine even though it's a 10-speed automatic, that there's only a select few gears when you go into different goat modes, that you're not going through all 10 gears, obviously, because you'd have to be going at a high rate of speed. But I think it probably limits the shifting anyway. I don't know. I guess unless you're in Baja, there really everything else is generally low or lower speeds. I guess sand you could get a little crazy with it, but and that's one thing we're going to try to really check our speed, our horsepower, and try to report back on what we find, what mode seems to be the best for us. Texas was a perfect example. All right, so when you're off-roading in Texas, where we were in these washes. And a wash is just basically a low area that gets water in it after a rain, so it's not constant. So the ground was semi-hard below it, and there was a lot of rocks there, but the rocks were generally smaller. So are you in rock crawl mode, or are you in mud rut? What would you be in, Gavin?
I would be in rock crawl.
Right.
Or no, mud rut.
Very good. So we were in rock crawl initially, and I changed over to mud and rut. And it changes a few stuff with the stay bar disconnect and things like that. When I was in rock crawl, it automatically disengages the stay bar. So if you have that feature,
Stay bar.
yeah,
Stabilizer bar.
stay bar disconnect. That's the term the kids are using now. Anyway, stabilizer disconnect, we would call it stay bar disconnect. So I was able to re-engage that and stay in the rock crawl mode. But I found that with the different art in the shifting points there, that if I went to mud and rut, it just felt better to drive, maybe in my head or maybe something real. But when you're somewhere like Bronco off rodeo, there's a limited time that you're there. And so you're trying to take all this stuff in. And for me, being new to the off-roading world, I'm taking a lot of it in. If I've been out here wheeling for years, then it would be, the learning curve would be a lot less. So I'm just taking in all the unique features with it. And yeah, momentum is key in the sand. I hear you. Once you get going, keep it going type thing. And there's some people saying that they're not going to air down going on the sand. I don't know. There again, we're going to try it. We're going to see how far we can get without airing down. And I know rock crawl, you have to air down because you need that tire to sort of roll over and kind of hug that rock a little bit more, so you have more tire surface to the rock. So you have to do that. 48 minutes. I know you got to go. We gotta wrap it up. So it's getting past Gavin's bedtime. So you got in late. So
yeah,
you get to sleep in late
early.
tomorrow.
Well, you get. No, I have to wake up early.
I'm taking you to school, so you get to stay a little bit later. Remember, Dad's cooler than Mom.
Yeah.
No, but you just have a late day tomorrow. But anyway, so yeah, momentum in the sand's key. Let's go back to some of the comments here. I think we got them all.
This was more comments than yesterday.
Yeah, well, we're staying on here a little bit longer, and I appreciate everyone out there. Pilgrim Wanderings, payment ends now. Terrence, and of course David, All Terrain Nation. Let's see who else joined us tonight. We had a bunch of people. Casey Jones was here with us. I appreciate you tuning in, and there was somebody else in there. But anyway, we'll be back later this week. We're going to do something during the week. Don't know exactly what day, but I do have a video that I may drop it tonight, maybe tomorrow.
Did you say Pilgrim?
Yes, Pilgrim as well. Yeah, actually. I don't know if I did or not, but if I didn't, and
and Piglet.
and we're good now. But anyway, am I good, man?
I think.
You're good. You've got to go. So look, I appreciate everybody joining us tonight. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell icon so you know when we go live and or drop a video. See what Gavin gets me into next. I actually have a video planned for this week that you, my friend, you get to do I'm going to film you doing this procedure on the Bronco. Isn't that fun? Are you worried yet?
Kind of.
Okay. It's something to do with the exterior of the Bronco. So Gavin's going to do that, and we're going to see how easy it is for you to do it.
Tell me when we get off stream.
I'll tell you when we get off stream. So we have that video coming up. We'll try to make it fun, but it's the Bronco is exactly that. It's fun. When you get your Bronco, you're going to love it. It's actually exciting. Start modifying it. The hard thing there is what modifications to make. There's people out there that have taken delivery of a Bronco and completely torn it apart and painted it. You know what? I don't have it in me to do all that, but something short of that. You're just modifying the interior, some of the features in it, and eventually we will start to modify the drivetrain and do some fun stuff there. So I appreciate everybody joining me tonight. I know you have a lot of things you could be doing, but joining Gavin and I on this stream is appreciated. And keep watching the videos. And hey, we're out.
Bye.
Thank you. See ya.